There comes a moment when the heart refuses silence, when the question can no longer remain hidden beneath schedules, screens, or distractions. In that moment, you realize that running from meaning is harder than facing it. The soul was not designed to live unanswered. Many people spend years chasing noise, comfort, distraction, validation, mistaking movement for progress. But when the noise fades at night, when the world sleeps and the self is unmasked, the question returns. Quiet, but sharp. Why am I truly here? Modern culture tells you, create your own meaning. But meaning that you invent fragments under pressure in illness, in heartbreak, in loss, in death. Self-invented purpose can entertain the mind, but it cannot feed the soul. Pleasure distracts. It soothes. It entertains, but it never answers. Pleasure is temporary. Purpose is eternal. And every soul knows the difference. If pleasure distracts, suffering awakens. Pain forces the soul to confront truth. There must be meaning big enough to make suffering bearable and smallness intolerable. Suffering is not the enemy. Meaninglessness is. Humans build cities and break down in silence. They explore galaxies, but cannot escape their own conscience. They create art, laws, science, yet fear the emptiness of their own rooms. We are great enough to ask the question, and fragile enough to need the answer. If life were random, the universe should feel random. But everything around us speaks of precision laws, constants, orbits, biological codes, mathematical order. Randomness does not produce meaning. Meaning produces order. The universe is not silent. It is articulate. Every pattern points to a mind. Every law points to a lawgiver. Every intention points to a will. The universe is a sign, a message written in matter, space, and time. And every message has a sender. Reason brings us to the edge. Revelation carries us across. The silent question becomes clear only when answered by the one who created the question and the heart that carries it. Without revelation, we guess. With revelation, we understand. And the answer was revealed. I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. Not worship as ritual alone, but worship as recognition, alignment, awareness, devotion, love, surrender to truth. Meaning collapses without the one who gave it. Worship is not noise or motion. It is the posture of the soul, the harmony of living in accordance with truth. Worship is to know him, to seek him, to thank him, to love him, to obey him out of recognition, not coercion. Worship is meaning. Why does the heart soften when truth touches it? Why does the soul stir when the name of its creator is mentioned? Because recognition is older than memory. The soul remembers its origin. Many people live long lives without ever beginning to live. Life begins the moment purpose becomes clear, and purpose becomes clear the moment the soul recognizes its creator. Purpose frees you from vanity, from fear, from the tyranny of the ego, from the illusion of self-invention. You are no longer lost. You are no longer drifting. You have returned to the axis of existence. When you know your purpose, every step gains meaning. Your kindness weighs more. Your patience weighs more. Your struggles weigh more. Your decisions weigh more. Nothing becomes wasted, not even your pain. And slowly, the silent question that lived inside you for years begins to fade, not because it was ignored, but because it was answered. You were not created for randomness. You were created for him. Finding the answer is not the end. It is the beginning of living with purpose, of walking with awareness, of worshiping with understanding, of existing with direction. The question was silent. The answer is not. You exist because the one who created existence chose for you to be. You are safe to know him, to love him, to remember him, and to return to him. This is the purpose that restores the heart, anchors the mind, and lights the path of the soul. The silent question ends here. The journey toward meaning begins now. There is a question that every human carries. A question that does not speak, yet is heard in the deepest chambers of the soul. It rises when the room grows quiet, when the noise fades, when the world stops demanding, and the heart is finally left alone. It is not loud. It does not shout. It waits, and in its stillness, it asks, "What is the point of my life?" The silent question begins early. A child looks at the night sky, wide, endless, overwhelming, and something inside stirs. Why is it all here? Why am I here? Before the world teaches complexity, the soul recognizes mystery. As we grow, the question grows with us, changing shape, but never disappearing. In success, it whispers. Is this all? In failure, it cries. Why me? In loneliness, it aches. What am I missing? In joy, it wonders. Why does this feel so temporary? Human consciousness is a gift and a burden. We are the only creatures who must confront ourselves. We must make sense of our own existence. Its pain, its beauty, its fragility, its unpredictability. And the question returns, what does all of this mean? Behind the silent question hides a fear. The fear that life may be random, that suffering may be meaningless, that death may be a void, and that our stories may vanish with no witness, no justice, no purpose. This fear is not weakness. It is a sign that the soul was not made for emptiness. Modern life tries to bury the question under layers of distraction, screens, noise, deadlines, entertainment, a constant stream of stimulation designed to make us forget that we once wondered why we exist at all. But the question does not die. It waits beneath the noise. Illness, loss, heartbreak, failure. Moments when life forces us to face ourselves. When everything stops, the silent question rises like smoke. What is all of this for? In suffering, purpose becomes urgent. Why do humans feel injustice so sharply? Why do we long for eternity in a temporary world? Why does beauty move us in ways logic cannot explain? Why do we crave meaning like breath? These are not flaws, they are signs. Clues, whispers from the one who made us. We believe we are the ones asking questions about the universe, but sometimes it feels as though the universe is the one asking us. Why do these laws exist? Why this order? Why such precision? Why consciousness in a creature of dust? The world is not silent. We are. The intellect can explore, question, analyze, hypothesize, but the soul, it recognizes truth before the mind can articulate it. The heart sees beyond the horizon of logic. Every human longs for justice, even those who deny the existence of its author. This ache is strange. Why should beings born from chance care so deeply about fairness, morality, rightness? Because justice is not learned. It is remembered. Morality has no shape, yet we sense it. Goodness has no voice, yet we hear Italiano. Conscience has no hand, yet it pulls us forward or stops us in our tracks. Moral truth is not an invention. It is a reflection of the one who created the human soul. Death is the mirror that strips away illusion. Every achievement, every possession, every applause, all of them fall silent before the truth that we are temporary. But the question that survives everything is, what comes after? The idea that life ends in nothingness does not satisfy the soul. It wounds it. Humans reject non-meaning with the same instinct that lungs reject drowning. Because a soul created for eternity cannot accept extinction. Humans do not want meaning. De inith Italiano. Without meaning, morality collapses. Identity collapses. Purpose collapses. Meaning is the architecture of human existence. Every heart points toward something. Toward power, pleasure, people, or the creator. Even those who deny purpose end up assigning themselves one. A heart cannot exist without direction. The question is, which direction is true? We stand now where reason guides us. At the threshold of meaning, the question is no longer, what if life has no purpose? The question becomes, what purpose was I created for? And the door to that truth is about to open.